At a tech conference last fall, the most powerful man on the internet wore a shirt with 3 Latin words on it. Aut Zuck, aut nihil. Translation, Zuck or nothing. That shirt is the entire story of Mark Zuckerberg's last 15 years. Once we see what's hiding behind those 3 words, every meta pivot suddenly makes sense. Because Meta isn't pivoting toward a future. Meta is pivoting away from a wound. Watch the cadence. Every 5 years or so, Mark Zuckerberg picks up the company, rotates it 90 degrees, and points it at something new. Web, mobile, stories, reels, the Metaverse, now AI. Hundreds of billions in market cap have been built and unbuilt on the strength of these turns. And every single one of them, is the same shape underneath. Because in 2007, something broke inside this company that has never healed. 2007, the iPhone. A year later, Android. Overnight, the internet stopped being a website we visited and started being an app we tapped. Facebook had ridden the desktop web like a wave. Now, the wave was gone. And the new wave belonged to 2 other companies. Apple and Google didn't just build phones, they built the gates. Every photo uploaded to Instagram from now on would pass through someone else's fence. We know what that fence eventually cost. 2021. Apple flipped one switch, app tracking transparency. A year later, Meta's CFO told investors that Switch had cost the company $10 billion. $10 billion from one company. Changing one rule on someone else's phone. That $10 billion is the wound. Everything since is scar tissue. 2021. The same year, Mark Zuckerberg renamed his entire company. He wrote a letter announcing the new name. One sentence in that letter is the whole thesis. Living under their rules has profoundly shaped my views on the tech industry. Their rules. Apple. Google. The Metaverse wasn't a vision, it was a fire exit. A new platform, virtual reality, that Apple and Google did not yet own. Build the next layer first. Never live under their rules again. $83 billion later, almost nobody is wearing the headsets. And then he did the same thing again. Bigger. 2025. AI is the next platform. Mark pledged $600 billion to a US president. A hot mic caught him after the announcement. I wasn't sure which number he was asking about, so I just shared the lower number. The lower number was $600 billion. He poached engineers from rivals on $100 million packages. One researcher reportedly took $1.5 billion. The first model from his new lab landed quietly behind every rival. Then he laid off 8,000 workers, 10% of the company, to free up cash for more compute. We are looking at a man burning a forest to plant a single tree. Not because he is irrational, because he is more afraid of standing still than he is of overspending. And 98% of Meta's revenue, after all of this, every pivot, every rebrand, every billion-dollar hire, still comes from the same place. Selling ads against attention. $600 billion is not a strategy. It is an insurance policy. Mark Zuckerberg has decided that being wrong with everyone is survivable. Being right alone, while someone else owns the platform under him, is not. Every vision he announces is a cell door he is trying not to walk through. That is what claustrophobia looks like at planetary scale. And we, small versions of the same animal, do this too. The frantic side projects, the new courses, the pivots we narrate as ambition. Many of them are not pulls toward something. They are pushes away from a fear we have not let ourselves name. The fix isn't to stop building. The fix is to ask one quiet question before each new pivot. Am I running toward this or running from something? The answer is the difference between $600 billion of momentum and $600 billion of fear with a press release on top. Next, we'll see what happens when a man's fear becomes his entire strategy.